Hello everybody, this is Required Gaming. I'm Go Defense Mode.
I'm HLC Punk.
I'm my Moosey Fate.
And we're here to talk to you about our next game, Tekken 3.
So, a little bit why we think it's required. I think this is a required game mostly because of the characters introduced in this one, and also some of the side stuff in it, like the different modes, I think were really fun.
Yeah, this was the first game that brought my favorite character in Tekken, Ling Xiaoyu, the fastest character in Tekken, and some of the craziest combos too. This is the game that made me love Tekken, or this was the character that made me love Tekken, sorry. But yeah, her inclusion to the game is everything to me.
A couple other really important characters were what Brian Fury was his first time.
Brian Fury,
Jin,
yeah.
because Jin's first debut is in Tekken 3, and he's been in all of them since.
One of my favorite characters.
Yeah. I like Kazuya, and it's funny because Tekken 3 was my first game.
Actually, I'm more of a Kazuya fan than Jin, but...
Tekken 3 was my first... I am too, I think. But Tekken 3 was my first game, so I didn't know about Kazuya because I didn't play 1 and 2 until I actually did things like Street Fighter Cross Tekken and some of the Tekken Tag games. I didn't really know who Kazuya was. I ended up liking him more, but... yeah, some of those kind of characters were really important to the series. As a matter of fact, some of the only characters who have been in all games are Heihachi, Yoshimitsu, and for some reason Paul, I think, is one of the ones who's been in like every Tekken game. I don't know.
Hasn't Nina and Anna been in all of them too?
Not all of them, but they've
Nina.
been in some of the... Nina hasn't been in all of them.
Yep, since the very beginning.
I just read it though. She hasn't been in all of them.
You're wrong.
She's missing.
You're
And
wrong.
I think a couple.
No, you're wrong.
Okay, well then I'm
I read
wrong.
it
She
too.
even had her own awful game.
We looked it up to make sure, and when I looked it up, I said Nina has been since the original. She's the only female. She's the only female character who's been in each one as an actual fighting character. Anna has been maybe in the cinematics or
Or like
whatever.
the story.
Because I wanted to double check that before we checked all this.
Nina
stuff.
Williams is my favorite character.
And she's amazing with Nina Williams.
Probably not so much anymore, but I used to be. How about you?
Yeah. What about me?
Yeah.
What about me?
I've been playing since the first game, and I loved all of them. 2 was probably my favorite.
That's so weird.
I don't know. I've played 2 more than I've played any other game except maybe Tag Tournament, the first Tag Tournament.
Which was basically 3.
Basically 3 with like every character in it. But 3 introduced like all the cool side shit that you could do that you couldn't do in like 2, like the volleyball.
My favorite
like
ever.
That weird like fight mode.
The arcadey sort of mode, like
yeah,
where you
like all that shit was cool.
Yeah.
I was really into the kind of Streets of Rage kind of thing
Yeah,
that was going
that-
on.
That's what you're just talking about. Yeah.
That was my favorite thing in it. So
I was really into the volleyball. Like, I probably played that for more hours than I'd ever want to admit.
I know, because I lost countless matches.
It was really fun, though. It was an actual, like, fun sort of side thing. Like, in Mortal Kombat Deception, how they have the chess.
Oh,
And that's really fun.
Oh,
The
yeah.
volleyball in Tekken 3 is comparable on how fun it is for something.
And I like how you could use a beach ball or a medicine ball or like any
Me too,
ball.
or
Yeah,
the
I mean,
exploding
and
one.
it got different.
Mhm.
You did it too. That was
Yeah.
so cool.
It
How
had
you-
different weights.
And how you like unlocked characters by doing like those different
All kinds of
modes
things.
and
Yeah,
shit.
I think this was the fighting game that maybe did the whole variety of different modes first, and the best. I mean,
Also-
it wasn't until I think this Mortal Kombat Deception where we really looked at fighting games and went, why don't fighting games do this more? But Tekken 3 did it way before that
Yeah.
even happened. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Its cinematic endings were, to me, really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they were short, they were, didn't tell you so much, but they had full cinematic endings, and for being the era that it's in, it was like, oh wow, these look awesome, this is groundbreaking, this is so cool.
And what else was cool was that if you had your memory card with Tekken 1 and 2 data, you could watch the old videos with the Tekken 3 because
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Tekken 3 was the first one in America that let you watch the movie modes. It wasn't until 3 in America that we actually got to see these like big cinematic
so
endings.
cool.
And then in 1 and 2, if you had saved edits for those, they transferred over to 3, and then you could watch all those things that you missed.
That's really cool.
It's been so long since I played any of the Tekkens, I can't really remember.
That's
like
why
most of the characters. I mean, the last game I played, I played the living shit out of the Tekken Tag Tournament 2. And that was when I had it on PlayStation 3. That was awesome. But I really don't remember any of the other games before that. But I remember 2 and 3 sticking out the most.
Yeah.
In the first tag tournament.
Probably does for you because it's one of the Tekken games where it was a whole different cast of characters that like never show up again.
I remember too because I used to go over to my buddy's house and we just like drink beer and do our whatever, and we just play through and unlock characters. And I remember like Roger and like
the kangaroo, yeah,
like all the weird characters that you would unlock that wasn't in part 1 and the
and
big,
you'll probably never see
the
again.
different bears and the kangaroo.
They brought them all back for like Tekken Tag 2, I think.
What is it, the boxing velociraptor?
Yes.
That shit was
That
great.
was weird.
All that shit was in 2, and we played the shit out of that to unlock all those characters, and it was great.
Yeah, but I mean, 3 is the one that had the staples that like that was Tekken. Like,
yeah, the
if you played
characters you're
Tekken
gonna
1,
see
you knew
forever.
Heihachi, you knew Paul, you knew Nina, and then Tekken 2 came out, but then Tekken 3 like cemented Jin, Xiao Yu, Brian Fury, Harong, all,
which I'm probably pronouncing wrong.
all these different characters that
Horwang.
people just love to death. Like, I don't, I mean, people pick these characters,
Which
more
led
than
to
any.
that other Brazilian fighting,
Eddie?
the girl,
Oh, Chrissy
'cause
starts in 4.
later on, yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie Gordo, he debuted, and
Eddie,
then
yep.
everybody loved that whole kind of fighting style.
And
They're
Eddie
like,
Gordo had like that Jimi Hendrix alter ego character with the afro.
I think the next Tekken game to actually have staple characters like that is 5, where you get Asuka and Lily and
yeah, that was
Sergei
the next set of like big staple characters
that continue on, because I think 6 has some of the weird ones like
yeah, that
Lars
has
and
Lars
them,
and yeah.
it was a very odd, and I didn't like how it played at all.
What was the one that was in the movie? Was that Lily? The one that she's like part robot?
In the movie, there's a girl that's part robot.
No,
no,
the
that's
animated movie.
Oh, I haven't.
No,
seen that.
that's the chick with pink hair. I can't remember.
Yeah, the pink hair.
Oh, I forgot
that's
her
not
name.
Lily. Lily's the blonde with the white dress.
It has like the shortcut.
She's the
things
rich
and
chick.
She's rich.
Okay.
If you played Street Fighter Cross Tekken, she's partnered with Asuka, who's like Jin's younger sister.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it's complicated.
Who the hell am I thinking
it's
of?
crazy.
I know who you're thinking of. I can't think of her name.
I can't remember her name either, but
also
yeah,
with Lars. She's the main character.
Yeah, she's the main character with Lars. She's the robot chick. She's got really cool combos, and she's really unique, especially for Tekken, which is more of a normal kind of like everyone has their own kind of fighting style. But
She reminds me of Aegis from
But I
Persona
mean-
3. I'm way tangent.
But this is when Forest Law takes over and for his
For
dad,
martial
Martial Law.
Martial
and,
Law, yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of really good characters.
Yeah, that we're gonna see over and over again. And like I said,
Yeah, it's a
the
lot.
gameplay was great.
And
There's
it
no
holds
complaints.
up. It holds up even today. Like, that gameplay has not changed at all, other than getting faster. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
the combos are almost still the same. It's just, it is a faster game now.
I think Tekken and Street Fighter are the same in the way that they really haven't changed much, and they've just kept that really good way that they do things, and they're...
Yeah, I mean, the combos have always kind of been the same. They tightened up. Maybe added something here or there to help it even out, make it more balanced, but other than that...
It seems it's like probably the most fluid of like all the earlier games too.
Oh, yeah.
It's just everything flows together. Like playing in one of the older Tekken games, playing one of the newer Tekken games, 3 is the one that plays pretty much. It's set the bar of like how all the newer games after that play.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with Xiao Yu and that speed.
And then they came out with like Tekken Tag Tournament, which is basically like a tag tournament version of Tekken 3 with like every character added, and that was also great. And that was probably the smoothest, and that it also added like a bunch of extra shit. Like the bowling is probably my favorite out of anything, but I love the bowling in Tekken Tag Tournament. I know, I always got to mention the bowling. I used to play like tournaments with buddies and with the bowling just to get the highest scores, and we'd play over and over and over, and I'd still hold the highest score out of everybody I know because I was like so badass at it.
And with all the fighting games that were coming out, it was Mortal Kombat, it was Street Fighter, it was Tekken, Virtua Fighter. All these different games were starting to come out, but Street Fighter 2, and you know, everyone loved Mortal Kombat 2. It doesn't hold up as well as these others do today, but Street Fighter 2 and Tekken 3 really hold up as like these moves and these characters all feel as good then as they do now. It's just the speed is different. The frame rate is sped up so with the times.
It's a little bit faster now, but you can still, if you played 3, you could play any of the newer games and just jump right in after playing for like a little bit, and you'll know exactly what you're doing. All the shit will come back to you, and you'll just be like, yeah, it's Tekken.
Yeah.
Tekken 3 was one of the first games that made me a gamer. Like we discussed in our intro, what really decided that we were, you know, a gamer and we sat down and this is something that we played and loved. That's probably, when I was younger, a game that I put some of the most time into. And it was that era. It was like a PS1 era, and then I literally would probably play it every day. At least at some point.
It was the first 3D fighter that made me think 3D is going to be the next big thing.
And
Unfortunately,
that's true.
And it didn't hold to that, though. You know, only Tekken could do the 3D right, and Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur got it right, too.
DOA.
DOA stepped up.
Virtua Fighter wasn't bad.
Virtua Fighter.
The older Virtua Fighters sucked, but like was like from 3 on, I think was like really good.
But I mean, those were the 4 franchises that went 3D and made it work, or it worked well enough that they could continue to even everything out.
Anybody remember Battle Arena Toshinden?
No.
What?
No.
All right, that's gonna be on. I'm gonna put some footage up of that if we're talking about 3D.
I remember
Bloody Roar was 3D, but that didn't end up continuing.
I know, but I don't think Bloody Roar was that bad though.
I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I guess
Bloody Roar
maybe they just didn't.
There was balancing issues.
Yeah, there was definitely.
There was balancing issues in Bloody Roar, but that didn't make it a bad game. It was just a couple bad characters. Or
I think they could have tried it.
I don't remember Bloody Roar.
Why not? It was really fun. You get to be like a little bunny and a bat chick and all kinds of cool stuff.
It was like you'd be a normal fighter and then you would transform into an animal version of yourself, and then it was actually a really good fighter. The problem was like a couple characters, like the bat chick was super overpowered and terrible to fight against.
That's true.
It was like fighting Shao Kahn at the end of Mortal Kombat 9.
But all the time as a regular
screw
character.
him at the end of Mortal Kombat 9.
Yeah,
so.
agreed.
There's no way to like not play that without spamming.
No, there literally is no way. You just do the same thing and stay back.
But Tekken 3?
Yeah, Tekken 3 is our 3rd required game.
No pun intended.
Third, yeah.
It really wasn't.
Holy shit, I just realized that.
I did too, right when I said it, and I was like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Criminy.
So, check us out on Twitter and on Facebook under Required Gaming.
You can also follow me, Go Defense Mode, on Twitter. I also...
your Twitter.
yeah, I do have my own Twitter now. Also, I do live streaming on Twitch, so follow me on Twitch too. Also want to make note that I don't think it's next month, but the month after, SGDQ is going to be doing their own live streaming event for Doctors Without Borders. Make sure you check that out, donate. Remember, we want to kill the animals.
No, we want to save the animals every time.
You got to get into that, man. It's great.
Okay.
Metroid. But,
anyway,
I'm my Moosey Fate.
Go Defense Mode.
Hey, Chelsea Punk.
We'll see you next time.
What?
I waved.
We're mad we don't wave.
I was like...
What are you supposed to do?